Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Mystic from CZT Patricia Aragon. This is an interesting tangle. I saw it, it caught my eye because it's pretty unique looking. And I also have a project I'm working on. I'm like, oh, this is a neat one maybe for that. And so I thought I would share it. Okay, so this starts off with a squashed orb. Let's put one right up here, center-ish. All right, then, and some of, oh, well, before I get ahead of myself, okay, the next step, similar to crescent moon, but the one thing I noticed as I was playing with this is you want to make it kind of like an additional squashed orb. So crescent moon would be, just like a C-shaped curve line. As you see, this just kind of curves in. So you can still think of it as a C, but really where it curves in like that. Again, like a squashed orb. And then we're going to aura that just like we would crescent moon, but you want to make sure to aura that, the I don't know how to describe it. Besides, I mean, the squashed orb effect, how that goes in like that. Because when I was playing with it, I just kind of had it coming straight out, and I didn't get the same effect that I was hoping to get, or not that I was hoping to get. I just went back and looked. I'm like, well, that doesn't. It looks different. I mean, it's not necessarily bad, but I'm like, oh, just that little bit. It was just really interesting. So I share that as a little hint. All right. Now the rest of it. Now I don't know the story behind this at all. Part of me is wondering if she called it mystic because this next step is kind of like mist. Um, I That's just my guess, and um, and I was thinking, there, step five, and I was thinking, oh, I could probably do that earlier and maybe it'd be smarter, but then I'm rethinking it. So we'll just go with the flow here, and it doesn't matter where you start. And I'm gonna try to use like the side ish of my pen, and also to just go real light. Well, not that light up at the top, and just squiggly lines. They don't have to be. They can. Well, here we're making that one go sideways, just because I want to. Different angles, different lengths. That's what I seem to. I have just such a challenge with random stuff sometimes. Well, that's looking okay. And having it attach to this orb is also a good thing. All right. And then, if you notice on Patricia's step out, and you'll find that in the description section, it's like she's doing hollabow. So because what I noticed is she has some here that will come off the edge like that, right? Let's do some here. And like I said, it doesn't matter which direction you start with, but kind of at the top, just little C shapes is what I'm doing. So it gives the impression that these are hanging down, from here, like it's just this little hairy creature. And I'm trying to be light with it, and I probably didn't need to do that many. That makes it look a little bit contrived. But it's okay. In the end, it'll be all good. And so, however this end up is however they end up. And so, if like me, it's like, oh, I want it to look like it is in the picture. And sometimes you just have to not worry about it and just keep working at it. If like I said, if randomness and this kind of thing is a struggle. Um, Next thing is we're on the ends of them. We're just gonna put little dots, little teeny orbs, and things are crossing. Um, it's okay. Actually, I'll put one up here for that one that's crossing. And then two, you know what? You can go and add some extras if it seems like, well, gosh, they're all about the same length, and I need to add some. I need to add some varying sizes. Like, oh, like that would be nice. Oh, this would be nice. Oh, yeah, okay, I like it. And so it's a fun exercise, and it's kind of like there's some other tangles where I call them like structured randomness. There is a structure to this, um, but there is that random aspect. So this is ones that I kind of like, and I think, okay, baby steps. We'll get used to it someday. It'll just be like, oh yeah, and and I just do it and don't think about it, and that would be lovely. All right, the next step, and actually I'm going to grab a thicker pen for this just because it's nicer to do that. Um, is like adding a stem to it. Now here's where I thought, and we're going to go right over whatever. And you know what? I do like some of hers kind of has it like Ving out of the top, so that way it doesn't just look like it's like just stuck. So here's what I'm thinking with why do this at the as the last step and not do it first, and not worrying about going over it. And here's my thought. And I will draw a couple little small ones here while I'm telling you. Here's what I'm thinking. There is, kind of what I talked about going with the flow, right? And so if we're just going with the flow and just creating these, let's not, not worrying about, oh, well, I need to holla about that, or I need to avoid this stem. We don't worry about that. It looks just fine. I mean, because when you have just line items, if you will, there's no halabow possible. So whether it's over or under, it doesn't matter, because if you're seeing this at the end, you don't know what order I did things in. It's going to end up the same, right? So I'm just thinking this way you can just kind of go with it instead of, and not worry about this stem part and just add it in later if you want to. You don't even have to add that in if you don't want to. Another thought, as far as and I'm just trying something a little bit different. Let's just do it halabow, except I really need to tie those in. So you could do this where you're halabowing this thin line here behind, the squashed orb. So that's something that you could also try. And you see how if I wanted to get them nice like that, do you think that that would happen? No. But what's okay is, well, we'll just add some in at varying lengths, like that, and then put the dots in. I do like in her sample on the last box. She has one that doesn't have any stems, so you don't have to do that at all if you don't want to. It depends on what you're working on. Maybe I'll put one on that one. I should put one. I'm gonna put one on an angle just because I think it would be cute. Yeah, and I'll have it going that way. It's almost a tangle critter, because to me it's kind of especially without the stem, it's kind of jellyfish esque, and I think it's just neat. But like I said, just really unique in the way. But if I'm doing it that way, they should probably. Well, no, I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to do it this way. I almost kind of like doing it like that, where we're hollowbowing it. I thought about it as I was playing with the step out and playing with it, and then I didn't really try it until now. And then I'm not feeling like these, like this is like, oh, I just have these rows of these, and it's just fun to play. Oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna. Oh, sorry, I was gonna put a stem on that one. This one is just flying in. And however many of these you get, if they end up like this, I made them rather sketchy looking. I'm kind of happy with that. And actually, I'm just going to do this with the same pen. And however you want to draw it, you can. And then for some shading, just right around either side, if you want to, Because, of course, you don't have to if you don't want to. And let's see. It just helps. It really does. It really does. This is magical. Oh, let's get this one here. All right. And just magical. And it's one of those where, and this is me talking to me, try not to think about it too much because I'm looking at the first one and I was like, oh, but when you get it all done, and especially adding the shading, and then just don't look at it for a minute maybe, and then you look back and you're like, well, who did that? That's awesome. And it's one of those kind of things. I'm going to add some little area or some smaller ones in here just because I'm feeling like it needs it. And that's also what's fun is that you can add, and just like everything's Zentangle, it is non-representational, so it just doesn't matter. But really, really cute, really cute. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please click the like button. If you liked it enough to see more, please subscribe to the channel. I mentioned the description section where you'll find resources, links to the step outs. I always do my own version, and then also link to the creator of the Tangle. Below that, I have a link to my website. So if you want to, maybe you want to come and do some classes or sessions. I like to call them. Well, I guess they're. I don't know. I call them both things. We have a lot of fun. We would do something like this on my Tangle Time. They're free. I have some that are paid, but there's a lot that are free. Thursdays, Tangle Time, free. And I do 2 sessions on Thursdays. We would maybe take a tangle like this, maybe pair it with something else, and just have a ball with it. So it's a lot of fun. And so come and join us. Let's see. Also, if you want to sign up for my blog, I do send out the Daily Tangle. That's what this is. And then also the recaps to the free classes that I do. Also, a link to my Facebook page, and probably most importantly, but because it's the last link that I have on there, it's last but not least, a link to our private Tangle Addicts Facebook community. So if you happen to be on Facebook and want to hang out with a bunch of amazing Tangle Addicts, we would love to hang out with you too. So come and join us there. Know that there are 3 questions to gain entry. And with that, I think that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.